Hey guys, happy New Year's Eve. And to celebrate, I decided to go over my PlayStation 2 collection, which I'm currently building, to build the collection of my childhood dreams. The reason why I did this is because I grew up with the PS2 as a kid, and I decided to show off what I got so far. Without further ado, let's get started. First up, we have Black. All guns blazing. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. Next up, we have Capcom Classics Collection, which features all 22 Capcom classics. Arcade classics, I mean. This is Volume 2. Capcom's Timeless Classics Reborn. And this also has Street Fighter 2, as well as the Championship Edition. Oh, here's the disc, and here's the manual. Next up, we have Cars. Jump into the fast lane. Explore the open world of Radiator Springs. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. I had many versions of this game growing up. Cars Race-O-Rama. Let the race begin. I will get Mater National at some point. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. Next up, we have Crash Bandicoot. We have Crash of the Titans. Here's the front, side, and the back. Bring on the Titans. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. I will get Wrath of Cortex, the Crash Bandicoot Action Pack, and Mind Over Mutant soon. Next up, we have Dragon Ball Z Budokai. As you can see, the cover is not in the greatest condition. I might get a replacement copy soon. A showdown of legendary proportions. Here's the disc, but with no manual. And as you can see, it's in a Blockbuster case. Remember Blockbuster? Next up, Final Fantasy X by Squaresoft, which is later known as Square Inc. Here's the front, the side, and the back. Here's the disc, and here's the memory card for my saves for RPGs. Next up, Frogger's Adventures, The Rescue. And as you can see, the case is not in the greatest condition, but I'll get a replacement case someday. Here's the disc. Next up, Gran Turismo 3. This is a great game. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. Next up, we have Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And as you can see, the case itself is not in the greatest condition. Might get a replacement copy of this soon. Here's the disc. And it's in a generic black case, but that's okay. Next up, Hitman Blood Money. Prepare to make a killing. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. Next up, The Incredibles. I recently 100%ed this a few months ago, and I gotta say, I'm really happy I did. Super strength, super speed, invisibility, and elasticy. Developed by Heavy Iron Studios, who also developed Ratatouille and SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom and the SpongeBob movie game, and Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. JetX 2.0. The Wildest Ride on Water. Here's the disc. There's no manual. Here's Kingdom Hearts 2. The story is not over. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. Next up, here's Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. Here's the front, the side, and the back. Memory is the key. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. Next up, we go into Tower number 2. We have Mega Man X Collection. The ultimate collection of Mega Man X Adventures. This contains X1 through X6, plus an unlockable Mega Man Battle and Chase. This version also includes the PlayStation 1 version of Mega Man X3. Here's the disc, here's the manual, and Mega Man X6 is possibly one of my least favorite games of all time. Next up, we have Mega Man X7. Here's the front, the side, and the back. Axel, a new hero is born. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. This one is my least favorite as well, but I'll get Mega Man X8 and Anniversary Collection and Command Mission at some point. Next up, we have Mortal Kombat Collection, which contains 3 games. There's the disc and manual for Game 1. Game 2, Deception. It will consume you. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. Here's game number 3. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. Next up, we have Namco Museum 50th Anniversary Edition, which is only released in Greatest Hits. 14 classic arcade hits. The Ultimate Arcade Collection, no quarters required. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. Next up is the Nicktoons Unite saga. Here's Nicktoons Attack of the Toybots. An evil army is rising. A brand of heroes is gathering. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. Next up, we have Nicktoons Unite. This is the version I grew up with as a kid. The battle is on. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. I will get at the Battle for Volcano Island and Globs of Doom later on down the line. Next up, we have Ratatouille, which has the free movie ticket inside. Action has a new flavor. This was also developed by Heavy Iron Studios. Here's the disc, and here's the manual, and here's the movie ticket. Next up, we have Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. Another one of my favorite licensed games. Raggy, Raffney, Relma, Red, where are you? Here's the disc. Yet another Heavy Iron game that's pretty good. Next up, we have Simpsons Simpsons Hit and Run. My mistake. Sorry for my error. Here's the front, side, and the back. Save Springfield by car, by foot, by the seat of your pants. Another one of my favorites. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. Next up, we're going into the Sonic games. Here's Sonic Heroes for the PS2. Join the team. Here's the disc. Here's the registration card. Next up, we have Sonic Mega Collection. This is one of my few prime ways to play the original Sonic trilogy. Take a blast into the past with incredible Sonic value. This contains every Sega Genesis game of Sonic. Plus it has a few extra Game Gear games and unlockable games and secrets, including Sonic 3 Knuckles, which is my absolute favorite. Here's the disc. Here's the manual. Next up, we have Sonic Unleashed for the PS2. Here's the front, the side, and the back. The difference is night and day. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. Next up, we're going to the SpongeBob games. Here's SpongeBob Creature from the Krusty Krab. I had the PS2 version growing up. The Bikini Bottom will never be the same. Play in 8 bizarre and unusual worlds. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. Next up is a pretty uncommon box set in my collection. This is SpongeBob SquarePants Happy Square Double Pack. Two games, hours of action. This contains Battle for Bikini Bottom and the movie game, which is my absolute favorite in the SpongeBob series. Here is Battle for Bikini Bottom. I 100%ed these two games, by the way. He is our only hope. Here's the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game. Both games are developed by Heavy Iron Studios. Bigger, better, and more absorbent. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. Here's SpongeBob SquarePants Lights Camera Pants. This is another version of the game that I grew up with. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. Here's Sprint Cars, Road to Knoxville. Buckle up, you're going for a ride. Here's the disc. Next up, we have Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. The ultimate party game keeps on rolling. Here's the disc, and here's the manual. The next two are my disc-only games, but I'll get the cases and manuals for them eventually. Here's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 and SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 from WWE. And there you have it, everyone. That's my entire PlayStation 2 collection I have at the moment. Hope you guys like this video, and comment and subscribe more for more content.